All right, good morning guys. I am just shooting a video to, I don't know, share I suppose, but here's what's going on my patio. My kiddo's reading a book there. We've got some, hey. We've got some great morning sun, which is just my favorite time in the garden. I did recently plant this succulent planter. I'm really pleased with how it came out. If you're wondering how to do something similar, I just essentially put pumice or lava rock at the bottom half, quick draining soil at the top half, and then I mixed in plenty of expanded shale when I put each plant in, and then I topped it off with river rock. And I think I put this in 3 weeks ago, and I have not watered it. We've had some rain since then, but I have not watered that, and so it's looking pretty happy. Here are all the succulent babies my mom actually propagated for me. I've got one going here. I think this is a German Empress cactus. I think I'm saying that, and I think I might have a hummingbird behind me here. He might fly off here. Oh, he flew off. Okay. Here I have another just mixed container, and I know you got to be careful with succulents because they have different water and sun needs, but this combo has done just fine. And so I get east facing sun, and then it gets pretty dappled toward the end of the morning because of the pergola. And then I've got like a Splitleaf Philodendron that has struggled through the winter. I had it in the house, and I'm not great with house plants. I feel like I just never get the watering down. But since I've had it back out, it's making a recovery, and so it's looking a lot happier here. Crossvine kind of climbing up here, and then some ferns. And then here is the bed that I just had extended. And so everything's looking good. I just put those skull cap in. This is a Texas native evergreen, very small, only gets about maybe 1 feet. And so it's a great border plant, and that's why I kind of stuck these out here on the border. And you can kind of see they want to sort of trail over, which I think would be really pretty. Here's that Kufia, and I'm going to tell you, the hummingbirds are all over this thing. And so this will get, I think this is a larger variety. I think this gets about the same size as the Turk's cap behind it, maybe 4 to 5 feet. So I've kind of got them like a Turk's cap, and then this Kufia. So hopefully I've given everything enough room. And so here I wanted to share with you what I've got going. So you can kind of see my border here between the quarter minus and the grass, but I thought it would be really pretty to create some depth and maybe layer a little bit on the edge with some plants. So these are what I'm gonna put, I'm gonna put them here on the granite side. These are all plants that can take full sun, and we'll see how they do. So this is, now I've heard a lot of stuff about this grass, that it's vetiver grass. It is used to prevent erosion, and I think it's got some other great properties. That's not why I got it, but I thought that would just be something to provide a little bit of variety in terms of just texture and foliage. Here I've got another Mexican bush sage, and I went ahead and got a more mature version since I'm kind of putting this in late in the game. Hopefully, the only challenge I have had in the past with putting things in the summer in Texas, because it's getting ready to be June, is that they really tend to struggle a lot more. So we'll see how it goes. But this guy I've had for a while, and he's just been sitting in my garden bed in a pot because I just didn't know where I wanted to put it. But again, just thought it would offer a nice little variety in texture, and with that planter behind it, it might serve as a good backdrop so that you can really see that nice, vertical form of the plant. And again, this is, let me see, I think they've got the scientific name here somewhere. Yeah, here it is. So Really cool plant. And I think it's called a Chilly Willy because this one can tolerate lower temps in the winter time. Probably will have to cover it under 10, especially if it's wet and cold. This is rosemary, and this apparently gets fairly large too, 4 to 5 feet. So I'm hoping I'm leaving enough room here, but it just smells so good. And I thought it'd be nice to have that herb here, since it's, you know, I've got my garden there. And then I've got another autumn sage, which I feel like this is such a workhorse in a Texas landscape. Number one, they attract pollinators. They're evergreen. I think unless we get a really bad freeze, I haven't had these through winter yet. But yeah, so I've got that here. And then I've got my first daylily. I've never had a daylily before, but again, thought it would be a nice change in texture. Plus it flowers. Let me show you the blooms here. I think this one is called, let me see, I've got the tag here, so let me not even guess. It's called Little Business. So I guess it just stays pretty little. But it'll kind of create, you know, most of this stuff can get 4 to 5 feet. So it'll kind of go down here. And so, but there's that. My veggie garden is doing pretty decent here. I've got some cucumbers. I think I've harvested like 10 to 12 off of these several plants I have. Sometimes I feel like there's nothing and then the next day there's 8, you know, so I think I've got one there coming up, and then over here I think I've got a few. So, and then I've got some strawberries in here. They're just hanging out in here with these cucumbers. I don't know if that's a great idea or not, but they're in there. And then I've got my corn, and I've not seen anything like tassels on this corn or anything yet, but I put this in, I think about 6-7 weeks ago. So maybe something went wrong, or maybe this is just part of the norm. I don't know. I'll keep you guys posted. This is my first year doing corn, so I really am kind of clueless on that. And then here, I thought this was so pretty. This is cilantro that's just bolted, but look at all these white flowers. And I have to tell you, since I've let these white flowers or the cilantro bolt, the bees are always over here. And I guess it kind of surprised me. That's why I put the marigolds kind of around, just to attract the bees, and the coreopsis here, which is also very pretty. But they seem to really just like this white color. I don't know. So but it's doing its thing here. And I've got some tomatoes. This is my Cherokee purple, and it's not probably done as well so far as my other tomato varieties here. So this one is a Sunbright, and then this one here is called a Black Creme. And so these are, I just think they're so pretty, just how they have that like almost ombre color, and when you cut them open they have like a real deep purple in there. And so, but yeah, so there's that. And there's a bunch of volunteer cilantro, because I think I may have let this go to seed last year too, but that's fine. You can pluck it out if you don't want it. Here is got some Malabar spinach here, which is a good heat-loving crop if you're looking for something. And then I got some bell peppers here. And then I've got a Mexican hat here. And so it's getting ready to have its first little blossom. Here is my kale. I harvested a bunch yesterday, and it's just like, I'm like, can we eat all this kale? I think this may only be 1, 2, 3, 4 or 5 plants, but that might be too many because we're not able to keep up with all the harvest, but it is so yummy. And I know everybody's like, oh, kale is gross. Well, you got to take that center. You can't eat the center stem. First thing, you can't eat that. That's very bitter. So you got to pull that center stem off. And then I think you can really do a lot of great things with it, even if you just kind of throw it in a salad, a regular salad, just to provide a little crunch or texture. How I like to eat it is we kind of massage some olive oil like in it on the leaves, and then we put a bunch of Parmesan on it, and it's maybe a little squeeze of lemon, and it's really, really yummy. My kids even like it. So here are the coneflowers, and then I got some zinnias. So I've never grown zinnias before. I have no idea how big these will be, and apparently that might have been a mistake on my part, because some of them can get quite tall. So it'll be a surprise. And then you can see how big that Texas star hibiscus is getting. So it's pretty happy in that spot. And then I also planted these things called gazinias. I think it's like an African daisy. This one's it's on its way out, but these are very drought tolerant. And so, you know, with all the rain, it's not really showing off just yet, but I think in the summer it'll provide a nice bit of color in this area. All right, guys, here is my mushroom kingdom. Do you guys see all those mushrooms under here? Obviously it gets a lot of shade, and I know that mushrooms are a sign of healthy soil. Yeah, but it's just kind of interesting to me. By the afternoon, they'll be all wilted and things, but when we have a nice bit of moisture in the air and in the soil, they just pop up like this overnight. It's kind of cool looking. And then over here, I've got my Mealy Sage, and I had to kind of cut this back. Remember how close these two were if you watched previous videos? So I kind of cut this back, and it's fine. You can kind of see like what it looks like kind of on the inside. So really long stems there. I've got another one over here that I had to cut back. So it's kind of, and you can already see the new growth there in the middle. So but this is such, if you are here in Texas, I mean, consider this, because it's so pretty, and it has just been blooming from the start of spring, and it's not slowing down. So, and it's taking the heat, and I think it'll be fine through July and August. And there's Charlie. Hey, Charlie. Hey, buddy. What you got? All right. And so, but yeah, there is that. All right. This is, I just think that like a sunshine ligustrum is so pretty. I mean, it's just so yellow. It's like Forsythia. And then those are leaves. It's not in bloom or anything. And so I think it's a great way to just offer a little bit of color to your landscape without necessarily getting something that has to flower. So, and then as of late, my Mangava is really starting to show a little bit more color. It was primarily purple, but you can kind of see how it's got that green. And this is really why these are so attractive, because there's just such that color variation with the green and purple. So just all that new growth is really coming in so pretty, versus you can kind of see how everything else just sort of mostly looked purple before. All right. And then chalk stick is still looking a little worse for the wear, but I think it'll, like I said, once all the rain slows down, I think we'll be okay here. And then there is my desert rose. So that, and I'll kind of give you a shot this way. So, and then I think I've shared with y'all, some of you have watched this before. This is a butterfly garden I'm getting ready to install in the fall. Just kind of going slow and taking my time. I tend to do better that way rather than just doing everything at one time, because then I don't consider a lot when I go quickly. So, but anyway, just thought I'd share this morning. Y'all have a great day.